Welcome to the hurling highlights of 1994.
Brendan Kelly's gone outside him if he needs him. Decides to swing it right into the middle. Good vision. Oh, a magnificent goal. Billy Dooley. That is one of the best I've seen.
It was a great championship year in 1994 and a very good Church and General League as well. No Leinster County in the semi-finals of the league. 3 from Munster, Tipperary, Cork and Clare, and from Connacht, Galway. And it was neighbours Clare and Galway in the first semi-final, April the 24th.
Doyle sending it down towards Tommy Gilpall, on to Jared O'Loughlin. Jim McInerney is to his left. Sparrow looks up and he hits it. Oh, great save by Richard Burke. There was goal written all over it. Dropping one in towards Jared O'Loughlin. Richard Burke coming out to greet it. Jared O'Loughlin and Richard Burke. Goalkeeper still out. Tommy Gilfoyle. Oh, trying to pull it out. Oh, and saved. Oh, yes. Wonderful save by Paul Cooney. Comes to Justin Campbell. John Maroney. Slither just squelching out of his hand as such. Liam Burke. Getting it in towards Joe Cooney. There's danger here for Clare. Getting it across. Oh, what a goal! Great goal! Brilliantly worked by Galway.
Convincing stuff from Galway, 113 to Clare's 10 points, a 6-point margin. It was going to be closer with those great old rivals Tipperary and Cork. These were a couple of the great scores.
Pulled on by David Quirk. Intercepted by Rémi Ryan. A ball for Anthony Cross and gathered by Cross. Nicky English has gone inside. There's a goal on here. Oh, yes! Brilliant goal by Tipperary. Tries to send it in low to Teddy McCarthy. Lovely skill by McCarthy. Getting it back up from Manley to Mullins and over the bar. Michael Cleary with the free. Anthony Cross, magnificent! Oh, that is brilliant! It's a long, long time since Tipperary managed a victory over Cork, and particularly in Barky Keeve. For hold it, Tomas Mulcahy blocked on by Noshi, Sean McCartney, goal for Cork! How much injury time have we left?
Just 1 goal separating them at the finish. Tipperary, 2 goals, 13 points. Cork, 1 goal, 13 points. Now the aficionados were about to read something into the championship prospects of Tipperary and Galway. First, it was the league final.
So some more shooting practice for Michael Cleary, who takes the ones inside the 45-metre line. Stop, and it's a goal by Declan Ryan! A mistake by goalkeeper Richard Burke. 21 minutes into the first half, and a goal for Declan Ryan. It's interesting that Tom Hellebert continues to mark John Lahey. Perhaps the Galway mentors feel that you need a strong physical player to match Lahey. Brendan Keogh back outside there towards Joe McGrath. Running into trouble, but getting support here from Joe Rabbit. Rabbit's blocked down by George Friend. That's great corner back play. Not such a good pass. Nigel Shaughnessy at left half forward now. In towards Liam Burke. Defending there is Michael Ryan. The ball is whipped in quickly towards Brendan Keogh. Galway feeling they need a score just before half time. Burke, can he be the supplier? He can. A second point for Liam Burke. Tipton, I remember playing with the breeze at their backs for the second half as we watch Joe Hayes restore Tipperary's advantage. Galway with a bit of a problem on here. They made a change at half-time, substituting one McGrath for another. Joe is gone, Michael the Hopper is on. Lahey is very much on. Michael Cleary driving it superbly. And it's over. Joe Hayes putting in the stick, likewise Michael McGrath. Nigel Shaughnessy. On to Brendan Keogh. The Galway forward line has been stuttering from time to time. That's Malone, and that's a putt. Midfielder Pat Malone showing the forwards the way to go. Rabbit. No Sheehy in there with Aidan Ryan. Look how far back Aidan Ryan is, meant to be on the half-forward line. Pat Malone winning another ball. In towards Justin Campbell. Can he exert a bigger influence on this match? Yes, he can. And Galway draw level once again. Solidly dispatched by the goalkeeper to midfield, but the wind holding it up very noticeably. Joe Rabbit not really making the expected impression. Instead, it's John Lahey. What a game this fella's playing. A third point for John Lahey, but so influential as Tip steal back into the lead again. Michael Cleary to cut it up. In dangerously. It's a goal! Cleary put it in. It may well have been Aidan Ryan who touched it, but the referee is in quickly to see whether there was a square ball or not. Well, that was an interesting one. And the goal has been disallowed. There was a man in the square. Porrick Kelly back there against John Lahey. Paul Cooney the next one to put in a challenge. But as ever, it's Lahey sailing away from all these challenges, driving in the shot and putting over the point. This is a real match-winning performance by John Lahey. Pressurised all the time here. Michael Cleary with delightful stick work. And this time Anthony Cross tried to get inside the fullback's cover. And there was a great rescue, tip away by Noel Parr. But the pressure remaining on. And Declan Ryan in for another goal. A second goal for the returned hero. Michael Cleary to take the free. In towards Liam McGrath. Lahey rises up for it and puts over another score. What a display this is. From Jack to George. And that's the trophy. Going back to the Premier County, who today were the Premier team.
So the Church and General League champions for 1994, Tipperary. 2 goals, 14 points. Galway, 12 points. There's a pot of silver at the end of this rainbow. This is Birr County Offaly, the home of the champions, the All-Ireland hurling champions of 1994. Offaly's is a remarkable story, not just for the sensational way they won the All-Ireland against Limerick, but for the way they've maximised their limited resources. Fan out no more than 8 miles in any direction from where I'm standing, and you can embrace the entire playing pool of Offaly's All-Ireland resources. All the places are there: Banagher, Lusma, Clarine, Kinnedy, Coolderry, and of course Birr here itself. And except for one player from Tullamore, and that's only 23 miles away, there you have the entire resources of Offaly All-Ireland champions 1994. Of course, they didn't start the year as favourites. No, not at all, because Kilkenny were there. Many people expecting them to win the All-Ireland for the 3rd year in a row. And there were whispers too about Galway, that they would come good in 94. And then, of course, there were Munster's big 2, Cork and Tipperary. But in the event, Munster's big 2 went out for a turn.
Second free for Damien Considine, this time from the 65. Low trajectory. Batted out there by O'Mara. Players coming for it. Jamesy O'Connor. Fleet-footed wing forward. Lovely equalising point from Jamesy O'Connor. He came across that line there very smartly. The intent was obvious. George Friend being called into the action here against Jim McInerney. O'Connor tried to lift that one up, likewise Gerald Auckland. Eventually taken up by the point scorer just a second ago, Jamesy O'Connor looking for the second, and he's got another one. Some very good play here by Jamesy O'Connor. Again, a good call here from Anthony Daly. 3 men to challenge him. And the support there from John Chaplin. Good ball inside to Gerald O'Loughlin. Is there a goal chance on here? O'Loughlin outside to Tommy Guilfoyle! Tommy Guilfoyle gets the game's first goal. 11 minutes into the second half, and Clare go in front by a point. So now Clare leading by a point, and suddenly the questions have been asked, of a tip side badly hit by injuries. But the side with the tradition are back on level terms again, the Munster champions, with Aidan Ryan getting his first point of the day. They've been level now for the 4th time. And they're in there like bees to a honeypot, the Clare forwards, but still it's Sheehy, keeping his side very firmly on course here. Hooped, Jim McInerney and Ger O'Loughlin now. O'Loughlin against George Friend. Suddenly the corner forwards have got into this match in a telling way. And that's a point. A great score there by Ger O'Loughlin. From out around the side there, O'Loughlin gets point number 1 for the day, and Clare lead by a point again. Tommy Dunn, outside. Michael Cleary, bearing down on goal, looking for a point, and he's not going to miss with chances like that one there. Amazingly, that's 8 points for the afternoon for the Éire Óg Nina man. It may be John 3-7 in the background, but it's Michael Cleary 8 out of Tip's tally of 11. Well, it's turned out to be an enthralling championship second half, this, after a very much forgettable opening 35 minutes. Brian O'Mara battling in there with Stephen Sheedy. What a battle they've had in there. Sheedy needing the assistance of Jamesy O'Connor. He's put it over the bar. And Clare are back, leading by a point. Gathered superbly by Brian O'Mara. If ever Tip needed a young player to really play out of his skin for the next 10 minutes or so, it's this player. But he's up against PJ O'Connell here and Stephen Sheedy. Not to mention Jamesy O'Connor. And mention of Jamesy, he's another scorer there. Jamesy O'Connor with 7 points. What a magnificent contribution. Pat King now for Tipperary, looking to draw level. The ball played inside towards Mike Nolan. Nolan taking it into his stride, causing some consternation and problem. And it's Fox, and it's gone over when it might have gone under. Well, he might curse his luck. David Fitzgerald, I'm sure, was expecting this one. This man here to belt it past him. A game that was devoid of style in the first half has buckets of incident in the second. Has a goal! A goal for Clare! Clare back in front, and Tommy Guilfoyle, I think, has got a second. Big Tommy! The score of 2 goals, and Clare lead by 3. Gaining rapid revenge. Guilfoyle hit it, and it was away to the corner.
The final score there, Clare 2 goals, 11 points, Tipperary 13 points. A week later, Cork took on an optimistic Limerick side who had introduced a new goalkeeper with a famous surname, Quaid. This time, Joe Quaid was the man. And again, Limerick was the venue.
Kieran Carey battling well at midfield. Brian Corkin lets it drop down. Quickly in there, quickly. Frankie Carroll. Carroll is on his way, looking for another point for Limerick. And that goes right between the posts. It's a brilliant score indeed. Frankie Carroll then, inspiring his colleagues, just one between them. Barry Egan comes out as ever to take the close-in freeze. That one is missed, and it's a goal! Mark Mullins. A goal by Mark Mullins of the Piercing after 12, nearly 13 minutes of the first half. Just as Joe Quaid appeared to make a good save, it came from this free, which was quite short, batted out there by the corner back, and in came Mullins, and it went off the goalkeeper's stick. It's early stages still, just 16 minutes gone. Gathered here by Cathal Casey, trying to make some headway. It's Mark Mullins, easily getting the measure of Declan Nash, showing great pace as well. Nicely inside here, that's Ger Manley, and that's a great goal! That's a brilliant goal by Manley. 2-4 for Cork, 2 points for Limerick. .65 has been taken, and it's a goal! It's a great goal! Gary Kirby, the one who touched it last. That's exactly what they've needed. 23 minutes into the first half. And And the game now takes on a changed perspective. Flighted in there by Mike Houlihan and added to superbly by Gary Kirby to the back of the net. Declan Nash, Cathal Casey, on to Mark Mullins. Mullins getting it as far as Tomás Mulcahy, and he certainly has the beating so far of Ger Hegarty, who gets back just as I say that to make a splendid hook. Dave Clark now, outside to Kieran Carey. Limerick using the hand pass intelligently to PJ Ryan, down towards Pat Heffernan. Can he keep the ball in play? He can. Gets Sean O'Gorman, goal chance here, stopped on the line by Ger Cunningham. And it's kicked in! A second goal for Limerick. Pat Heffernan, the goal scorer. So now just a point in it. Ger Hegarty gets a second chance to deny Tomás Mulcahy, assisted by Dave Clark. Clark moving forward, Barry Egan in the chase. Clark from Kilmallock in there in the thick of the action. Number 5 getting the assistance from Frankie Carroll. Playing it down here to Pat Heffernan, that goal scorer, cleverly taking it away from the attentions of Sean O'Gorman. Bidding to set up another attack towards Gary Kirby. Kirby coming in brilliantly. That's a great goal. That's a superb goal. Minutes after his last goal, he comes in with a beauty. Pat Heffernan was the one who set it up. There's great vision, poor marking it has to be said, but a great finish away to the corner. David Quirk from Middleton, taker of the 65, dropped short. Tomás Mulcahy under it with Ger Hegarty. Kieran Carey getting the assist of Dave Clark, back in by Timmy Kelleher. He runs in there to the substitute, and a goal by Kevin Murray. He's only on the field for 4 minutes, and Murray has cracked in another goal, the 6th goal of the day so far. Limerick's lead is reduced to 1 point. Ball played in by Timmy Kelleher, missed by a couple of the backs, but not by the very vigilant Kevin Murray, and he venomously strikes it past Joe Quaid. Mike Galligan has enough room to strike this one so sweetly and straight between the posts. Level yet again in a match that's taking on epic proportions. Well, it's one of those days when a draw would not be an unfair result, but who can tell? Kieran Carey has certainly played his part. And that's in! It's a great goal! And it's Pat Heffernan! Limerick get a goal in the 28th minute. Again, it's credited to Pat Heffernan. Timmy Kelleher stepping into the breach. The forwards will look for the ball inside. Timmy on a solo effort outside to Shawnee McCarthy. Will he go for a goal? He is, and it's stopped again. What a save, Murray, and that's buried. Shawnee McCarthy was going for the goal. There's a brilliant piece of goalkeeping. Out it came to Murray, and he fairly rattled the back of the Limerick net. A game of 8 goals, 4 for each team.
In the Munster semi-finals, Clare had 11 points to spare over Kerry. That game played in Tralee, and Limerick defeated Waterford, but with only 2 points to spare at Thurles. And it was back to Thurles again for July the 10th, the day of the Munster hurling final at the famous Semple Stadium.
TJ Ryan on his way for Limerick, trying to put up for the first score of the day. Little or no breeze about. Still TJ Ryan over there in the corner. Now Heffernan cross towards Damien Quigley's corner. Anthony Daly, who is the Clare captain today, back towards Damien Quigley again. Now Gary Kirby has to be watched. First chance, first point. Great start for the captain of the team from Patrick's Well. Sheedy against 3 Limerick players, one of them is Kieran Carey. PJ O'Connell coming back. Could cause a few problems at centre-half forward himself, this dashing number 11, not his fingers. Outside to Andrew Whelan, in toward Tommy Guilfoyle. Gerald Loughlin gets there first, avoids the Hurleys, and that's the equaliser. The Sparrow does it in the early minutes. Cross towards Gerald Loughlin's corner. Steve McDonough closing him down well. Comes back to Sheedy, who can really dominate at midfield if given the chance. Andrew Whelan now. Missed the game against Cork because he was exam-tied. Here's Christy Chaplin nipping into the breach there between Dave Clark and Jamesy O'Connor, and he puts it over the bar. Clare take the lead for the first time. Chaplin was high in the air, missed it completely. Clare, Limerick have an injured player on the ground, Mark Houlihan. Meanwhile it's Frankie Carroll inside towards Pat Heffernan. TJ Ryan well across. Mike Gallagher blocked down, not Heffernan however, and that's the equaliser from Pat Heffernan. 6 chances in the match so far, 2 points apiece, just a wide each as well. McDonough again, lets it drop down to Kieran Carey. Can't give him a look in. Oh, this fellow here, Gary Kirby, scored the first point of the match in the very first minute. On the 20-metre line, shortens the grip on the stick, puts it over the bar, his second point. 5 points to 2 then, Limerick lead. Sun breaking out here in Semple Stadium for a game we're all enjoying. John Chaplin down towards Jamesy O'Connor. Jamesy trying to get by Dave Clark's attempted hook. He's got support in the shape of PJ O'Connell on the right hand side. He doesn't need it. That's another one over the bar for Jamesy. His first from play, his second of the game. And now just 1 point the margin. John Chaplin. PJ O'Connell, quick look off, partially blocked down by Ger Hegarty. The Sparrow there against Steve McDonough. Comes out here to Mike Houlihan. Houlihan from Kilmallock. Brian Lowen, a testing ball in for him. Mike Gallagher racing in. Limerick look for the first goal of this game. They're content with a point. A second point for Clahone's Mike Gallagher. Towards the Sparrow, Steve McDonough one-handed. Needs the assistance there of Ger Hegarty. Still Ger O'Loughlin. Tight angle. It's a point. And once again, just a point between the teams. 2 points for Clare Castle's Ger O'Loughlin. 20 minutes gone on the first time. Time seems to have flown, which is a very good indication of a match. Ger Hegarty touches it down to Kieran Carey. Always expected him to be around to pick up these pieces. Steve and Sheedy trying to tie up the match. Off the stick of Joe Quaid, and the sides are level. Level for the third time in the game. Stephen Sheedy's first point. Won by Mike Houlihan towards Frankie Carroll. Frankie trying to draw that ball into himself. Score of a point so far. PJ O'Connell going back to try and dispossess him from a huge distance out. That's Frankie Carroll. Oh, he was just inside his own 65-metre line when he scored his second point. Bidding to win another point for the Carroll household. His brothers Mossy and the Bomber won medals in 1980 and 81. Stephen Sheedy trying to take it out of that ruck of players. Comes to Kieran Carey. Lovely balance and control. Look at the way he gets away from 3 or 4 Clare men. Great pace as well. Partially stopped. Referee says play on. That's a great advantage. And a point accrues for Kieran Carey. Stephen Sheedy had fouled him, but the referee Willie Barrett from Tipperary here allowed a very good advantage, and Clare lead by 2, or Limerick rather, lead by 2. Added to by Gary Kirby to TJ Ryan. The Limerick forwards looking more menacing. Jamesy O'Connor in towards Ger O'Loughlin. Ger takes the score. His third point. Clare's leading scorer. Just 3 between them. Mike Gallagher. Brian Lohan doing well to take him away from the danger zone as much as possible. Well, that's left Frankie Carroll inside. There are two Limerick players just on the fringe of the square. It's Heffernan who opts for the point, and he can take it, and indeed he can. But Clare's backline was really stretched in that last attack. As Pat Heffernan gets his second point, once again the gap is 4. Both sets of supporters now trying to encourage their team. Tommy Guilfoyle, we haven't seen too much of him so far, puts the head down, inside here, goal shot, stopped by Joe Quaid from Stephen Sheedy. And it's out to a 65, the first of the day. Great save by Joe Quaid. Frankie Carroll meanwhile. Players calling for it. One of them is Gary Kirby. And right half forward, and he makes it look routine. A 5th point for the Limerick captain. The points have been taken by Limerick. Clare have had a couple of good goal chances, but it's 15 points to 8.
Run that again.
Daly breaking that ball down, but Gallagher is looking so sharp. That's a wonderful point. They're appealing inside, but it had gone outside. But Mike Gallagher takes them all. That's his 5th. This time it's Mike Nash coming away from it, away to his left-hand side, showing himself to be a very quick full-back alongside his brother there, Declan Nash. Damien Quigley now, leaving his man for dead. Here's the scoring chance, and that's put over the bar. A second point by Damien Quigley. 10 points between the teams, a very big lead. Broken away here by Dave Clark. Clark, the wing-back, to Kieran Carey. The marking now is absent. Sign of a tired and dispirited team. Gallagher just having difficulty taking it up onto his stick. Daly despairingly trying to put in the challenge as Gallagher fires over. 6 points out of that tally of 21. Steve McDonough. McDonough trying to take it away from that danger zone, whipped in there by Whelan up towards Jim McInerney again, and this time it's over rather than under for Jim. Just his first point, and a goal chance just before that as well. Dave Clark. Frankie Carroll now against Christy Chaplin, who's lost the stick but not lost the will to chase. Mike Gallagher. They always seem to have men over. Gallagher has sent over his 7th point, all of them from play, all of them so highly precious. Cyril Lyons, will he go for a goal here? And he gets it! The only goal of the match so far. Cyril Lyons, the substitute, coming in from that free. All coming so late though, 27 minutes into the second half. May just have caught a deflection on the way. And in it went. Comes out here to Sean McMahon. The College of Stars hooped by Mike Gallagher. In the kind of form Gallagher is in this afternoon, I don't think there are too many wing-backs around who could stop him. And that's Kieran Carey up the post, and over it goes. Second point for Kieran Carey. John Roach, number 18, trying to dispossess Brian Lohan. Shortening the stick to get it just as far as Jamesy O'Connor. Jim McInerney having come way out the field now, in towards Cyril Lyons, touchdown towards Gerald Loughlin. Busy last 7-minute spell here now by Clare, trying to do something about the scoring imbalance. McInerney comes in, fired in by PG O'Connell, stopped there by McDonough. Cyril Lyons again, and there's another one, and it's Tommy Guilfoyle. Another late goal. Cyril Lyons, the shot, stopped by Joe Quaid. Doesn't want to see any more goals go past him. Mike Gallagher has to try and finish off the match in rather more devastating fashion. Gary Kirby has left to say, take that. And it's all over, and Limerick win back the Munster Championship, beating Clare just as they did in 1981. to Joe O'Loughlin. Is there a goal chance on here? O'Loughlin outside to Tommy Gilfoyle. Tommy Gilfoyle has buckets of incident in the second. That's a goal! A goal for Clare! The Nash showing great pace as well. Nicely inside here, that's German Manley, that's a great goal! Goal chance here, snapped on the line by Ger Cunningham. Oh, it's kicked in! Kirby coming in brilliantly. That's a great goal for the substitute, and a goal! Oh, Kevin Murray! Oh, that's it! It's a great goal! Yes! And it's stopped in there! What a save! Murray! And that's buried!
Kilkenny All-Ireland winners 1992 and 1993 were going for a hat-trick of Liam McCarthy Cup victories, something they had never before achieved. But before they got to the All-Ireland series, they had to set out to retain the Leinster title. But Offaly, whose first All-Ireland win was as recent as 1981, had other ideas.
Here comes PJ Delaney, cutting it across. Brian Whelan leaving it run on. Over towards DJ Carey, who seems to be playing at top of the left. Shane McGuckian staying with him, getting it in towards Eamon Morrissey. Kevin Keenahan with him, but not sufficiently enough to deprive Morrissey of the opening score. Giving it to corner forward Liam McCarthy, Eamon Morrissey, and that's good defending. Excellent play by Offaly, but still Morrissey has it. Hubert Rigney gets the hurling. Clash of the Ash in the centre of Croke Park. John Troy giving it back to right half forward Johnny Dooley, and that's a great point by Johnny Dooley. And again Johnny Pilkington. Down towards brother Declan, just a year older. Eddie gets a hurley to it, however. Liam Keown comes away with it. Giving it to Bill Hennessy. Sending it across towards DJ Carey. Oh, lovely control by Carey. Brilliant stuff by Carey, and he's going straight through. Jim Troy, and it's a brilliant goal. A little piece of absolute magic from DJ. So Kilkenny leading by 1 point thanks to two forwards, Eamon Morrissey and DJ Carey, the only ones to score so far. Liam Keown well dispossessed. Chance on here for Billy Dooley, and the side's level for the third time. This time thanks to Billy Dooley. This is full forward Brendan Kelly, more suited as a halfback, but doing very well at full forward. Good ball for Johnny Pilkington, trying to get it across to brother Declan. Brendan Kelly has gone outside him if he needs him. Decides to swing it right into the middle. Good vision. Oh, a magnificent goal. Billy Dooley. That is one of the best I've seen. There's not alone passion in the playing pitch, but there's a lot of passion in the stands as well. Contrasting fortunes and reactions. John Troy. Good ball into Billy Dooley, to brother Joe, to the back of the net. Brilliant stuff by the faithful county. Joe Dooley, the brothers combined, and Michael Walsh hardly saw it. Double scores between the sides. 2-16 to 1-8. 22 points to 11. 6 minutes left. Bill Hennessy, steady on the feet, dropping in towards Eamon Morrissey. Michael Phelan brought down, and that's a free. And Kilkenny will have to go for goal from here. 5 Offaly men facing DJ Carey. A little bit of shoving and pushing going off the ball as DJ Carey comes in, hits it. Oh, cracker! And it brings Kilkenny back into the match. Kilkenny's reign as Leinster and All-Ireland champions are almost at an end. and Offaly, their greatest rivals, convincingly ousting them out of the 94 championship. The Shiner Brennan, they're trying to execute a goal here. Jim Troy comes forward and the ball is in the back of the Offaly net.
Final score, Offaly 2 goals, 16 points. Kilkenny 3 goals and 9. That's 22 points to 18. Wexford won the other Leinster semi-final, 4 goals 24 to Laois's 4 goals 16, thus setting up the 17th of July Leinster final. Wexford, 26 years out of the All-Ireland honours against Offaly, the conquerors of the 1993 All-Ireland champions, Kilkenny.
Break falls nicely for Johnny Pilkington, going straight through, still Johnny. Looking around to see if he's been closely marked. The answer is yes, and he takes his point. Johnny Pilkington adds to Johnny Dooley's point, and we still have only 1 minute and 45 seconds gone in the Leinster final. So Liam Dunn with this free on the Offaly 65-metre line. Wonderful feeling once more. Brian Whelan losing the helmet in the process. He comes to his opponent Tommy Gill, and Tommy avails of the chance. And Wexford get their first point from play. And their second of the afternoon. John Troy, cleverly putting it across towards Johnny Dooley. Adrian Finlan is there, but Dooley gets the hurley in. Guy Regan, Johnny Dooley back to Regan. Then sending a ball straight between the posts. Dahi Regan is a man inspired. He cannot do no wrong. That's the scoreline. Knocked away from him. Comes back to Garrett Kavanagh. Trying to swing away from John Troy. A ball into space for Paul Finn to chase. Kevin Martin is right beside him. This is Paul Finn, highly rated, down Slaney side to his captain Larry Murphy in Coolbawn. And he sends it over the bar. Lovely play by Larry Murphy and Paul Finn. Started initially by Garrett Kavanagh. Grabbed superbly by Johnny Dooley. Still Dooley. Needs a little bit of help and support. Yeah, oh, wonderful skill by John Troy. Lashing it in. Oh, what a goal! That is a classic goal. Made and created by one John Troy and finished brilliantly by Billy Dooley. What a magnificent goal. But this was made by sheer creative genius. A man called John Troy from Lusman. Now just watch this provision. We talk about it, now you see it. Into Billy Dooley, and Damien Fitzhenry hardly saw it. Adrian Fenlon. Paul Finn. Johnny Pilkington to Dahi Regan. Nice bit of hurling, and the ball runs kindly for Billy Dooley. Garrett Kavanagh staying with him. Still Billy Dooley. Johnny Dooley is calling outside. This is Johnny. A little bit of space. Chinks away from John O'Connor. That's a lovely point by Johnny Dooley. Eamon Scallon working hard to try and just gather possession. Sending it in low in towards Martin Storey. Pulled on magnificently again by Brian Whelan. Back to Tom Dempsey. Again they launch one of these missiles in around the house. Martin Storey again underneath it, trying to get it up, trying to get room to swing. Now he swings and he puts it over the bar. It's not enough for Wexford. Comes in, hits it, oh, cracker! And there's a goal on here. Scallon going for it. Oh, brilliant stuff. There's another score on here. It depends what they want. They're looking for the goal and they've got it. There's a goal on here, and there it is. Harry Murphy, another goal on here, and there it is. John Taylor, potential. Ah, great goal. on Taylor, difficult angle. Oh, that's a cracking shot. Still Dooley, needs a little bit of help and support. Oh, wonderful skill by John Troy. Dashing it in, oh, what a goal! Tom Dempsey driving it in low, and David Hughes is there. Going and David Hughes is there once more. Back to Dooley, and Hughes, magnificent save.
One more time, the Ulster Championship was between two counties, Antrim and Down. Casement Park in Belfast was the venue.
Oh, that's a superb cut. Jared Coulter had to be fast. Paddy Walsh again playing it back, intelligent play towards O'Kane. Again, it's Jim Connolly with them. Connolly strikes, and Connolly gets the point. A second point for Jim Connolly. Now a chance for Antrim to attack again. Good defending by McMullen. Paul McKillen hooked very well by Dermot O'Prey. And O'Prey will not give up. He still has the possession. It's Sands now in possession. Back on that far side towards Gilmore from a very awkward angle. That is an excellent point by Hugh Gilmore. Oh, greatly held. Played again into that danger zone. And it's in the net! It's in the back of the net! That's the score that will bring Down right back into this game. Dropping it down, and Chris McGeehan it was who got the touch, but picked up by McCarthy on his left side, pucking it forward. McMullen is there, strikes the long ball. Again, it's in towards the middle. Oh, that's good hurling by Coulter, but he's blocked down by McNaughton. Alistair Elliott has the possession. Alistair Elliott works his way through, giving him in a chance of a goal. Yes! Conor McCambridge has got the goal. Made his debut in the All-Ireland quarter-final against Meath last year. The block by McNaughton was crucial. The work by Alistair Elliott likewise. Conor McCambridge collected the ball and Keith never moved.
And the result from Casement Park, Antrim 1 goal, 19 points, Down 1 goal and 13 points. All-Ireland semi-final day was a double-header at Croke Park on August the 7th. With Galway, again the almost unchallenged Connacht title holders, they did beat Roscommon by 15 points, playing against neighbours Offaly, and Antrim trying to land long odds against the hot favourites Limerick.
Jackie Carson going up for it, but it falls down towards Paul McKillen. Mike Houlihan underneath it. And when Mike begins catching slithers like that, you can be well aware that the warning lights are on. He's in form. This is Frankie Carroll. Sending in a ball from the wing. Oh, that's a great point by Frankie Carroll. Number 9 a moment ago, Mike Houlihan. Number 10 now, Frankie Carroll. And Limerick lead by 2 points. This is Jim Connolly. Antrim need a score now to Paul McKillen. Dropping one in and sending it over the bar. It's a very good point for Antrim. Scored by one Paul McKillen. So now Antrim are on the scoreboard. Gary Kirby from Patrickswell, an inspirational captain in the Munster Championship, dropping that one in, and Brendan Printer. The last time a high ball came in the league quarter-final against Clare, Brendan Printer dropped it. There's no dropping the slither in Croke Park this afternoon. Back to Davy Clark. That'll do the Antrim goalkeeper a world of good. Now he's going to be tested. Oh, brilliant goal by Mike Gallagher. 7 points in the Munster final, a goal in the All-Ireland semi-final. Carroll sending it in high. Brendan Printer calls, and it drops straight over the bar. That's 2 points for Frankie Carroll. He now has scored 7 points in the Munster and All-Ireland semi-final. And that's the scoreline. Good puck out again by Joe Quaid. And again, Kieran Carey. Sliotar just won't come up. It comes down past Mike Galligan. Clahan man dropping one in towards TJ Ryan. Leo O'Connor is there, pulled on by Gary Kirby! Oh, that is a brilliant goal! That's 4 goals and 21 points in the championship so far. Gary Kirby from Patrickswell, just watch this. In the twinkling of an eye, he had it in the back of the net. Just keep an eye, because you'll hardly see it. There. Brilliant. Testing ball for Gary Kirby and Paul Jennings. Frankie McMullen pulling on it. TJ Ryan. Get a good angle for himself. Drops in, Brendan Printer calls. Lashes it down once more. Alistair Elliott. Seamus McDonough, Mike Houlihan helping him out. Well intercepted and well pulled on. Again to Seamus McDonough, Stephen McDonough rather, from Brewery. Frankie Carroll. Oh, that's a great effort. And that's a wonderful point. 5 points for Frankie Carroll. Puck out given quickly to Seamus McMullen. Under McGarry battling with Davy Clark. This is Paul Jennings. Sambo. To Paul McKillen. Sending it straight over the crossbar. That's the second point for Paul McKillen. 17 minutes left now in this second half. A match that has produced little or no shouting or cheering by the huge crowd. Sambo McNaughton and Joe Quaid. Well won by the goalkeeper. Tipped on by Declan Nash. From Santrum once more. Gregory O'Kane. Sending it high and sending it over the bar. Good point by Gregory O'Kane. Seamus McMullen. Gary O'Kane, TJ Ryan. Won't come up. Does though for Frankie. Mike Houlihan. Nice little dummy. And a lovely point. 3 points for Houlihan. Kilmallock man is very much on form at midfield. Frankie McMullen sending it over towards Gregory O'Kane. And again, the striking by Antrim is very poor. Oh, Frankie Carroll controlling it. And again, that little touch, that's all you need. Needs a little bit more. Oh, lovely skill. Bit humiliating for the Antrim hurlers, but lovely skill by Carroll. To Gary Kirby as this All-Ireland semi-final turns into exhibition stuff. Dropping it in and dropping it over the bar. 1 goal and 6 points now for Gary Kirby. 7 points for Frankie Carroll. Between them, they made up that scoreline.
And the result there, Limerick 2 goals, 23 points. Antrim 11 points, 18 points the winning margin. It was closer, much closer, between Offaly and Galway.
Jim Troy's puck out, added to there by Daithí Regan, right into the corner. Tom Helibert winning the race across there. Now Paul Cooney played at right corner back last year in the championship, playing in place of the injured Sean Tracy. Nicely in that time by to Johnny Dooley. Looking for the first point from play for Offaly. He's got it. He's also got all their scores, and he's given them a 3-1 lead. It was a very nice move, worked right across the field. John Troy, the man who set it up for Johnny Dooley, and the number 10 with an unerring finish. Good use of an elbow there by Nigel Shaughnessy. Brian Wheelahan. Jerry McInerney once again breaking it down. That's it, it's a great goal! And it's John Troy who's got it! At last this game may come to life. Offaly lead by 5 points. Brian Wheelahan's long free. Watch as it was broken down by the stick of Jerry McInerney. And that was just enough for John Troy to come onto. Watch him stealing in here on the left-hand side and away to the far corner. Right across towards Michael McGrath, has taken up a new position, seems to be playing now at right half forward. Peter Kelly, powerless to stop Martin Hannamy. Down nicely towards Billy Dooley, skipping away from the would-be challenge, putting in the shot and putting it over the bar. A very good score indeed by Billy Dooley, the third member of the Dooley clan to score. Martin Hanamy's long clearance out of defence reached Billy Dooley from a huge distance out in an acute angle. He made the most of it. Great score. Well, an interesting fact so far from the scoreable frees, none has been missed, but this is quite a fair distance out here for Johnny Dooley. Can he find the range? Well, he finds the goalkeeper's left hand. Richie Burke, good clearance. Offaly 110, Galway 9 points. About 14 minutes left. Martin Hannamy, quite a dogged struggle as it's been throughout. Pete Finnerty towards Johnny Pilkington. And towards Billy Dooley. Dooley playing top of the left, locating Pat O'Connor. Good hand pass back to Dooley. This is great skill. Billy Dooley bearing in, and he's scored. To 9 points, Billy Dooley going in there. 22 minutes now into the second half. Lovely skill involved here. And watch for the final piece of action here as Billy Dooley was going in. Just shortening the stick and away to the far corner. Hubert Rigney. Back below trying to set something up for Galway. It's not been their afternoon. The Dyke was wondering where that was going. It was going into the hands of Christy Halliburtt. Long ball. Joe Cooney in there raiding. Jim Troy. Cooney! Goal! Just what Galway's needed. Joe Cooney gets a vital goal with still about 8 minutes to go. Though not playing well, Galway are still firmly there. And it's anybody's game. Just winning the race there with Jim Troy and gleefully accepting the chance. It's there for the taking now at this stage. Coleman trying to get away from Michael Keneally. In towards Liam Burke, batted down here by Brian Wheelahan. Joe Cooney once again. Shane McGuckin now trying to take it away here. Onto that left-hand side towards Johnny Dooley. Hasn't seen much of the action from play in the second half. Ball comes nicely across here for Joe McGrath. And Jackson, as is known, making a bit of ground. Justin Campbell, we know how fast he can be, needing assistance. Joe Rabbit, very little space. Johnny Dooley, back there around the half-back line to assist his defence. Michael Duignan breaking it down for John Troy to come onto it. Still Troy. Great pick up from Troy that time, just after he'd lost it momentarily. Back to Michael Duignan, beats the attempted block, the shot, and the point! It's a great score. Michael Duignan's first point and 4 between them. Offaly trying to hold on. Galway with Joe Rabbit trying to come more and more into the game. Joe McGrath against Kevin Martin. That one into space there for Liam Burke to come across to. Taking it well, Justin Campbell calling for it on this near side. It reaches Joe Cooney instead. Cooney, the goal scorer just a few minutes ago. The hand pass into space, hopefully! Oh, it's gone hanging amazingly. Outside and wide. It was so close. Justin Campbell was within inches. He's looking at the watch. He can't believe it. This was another very enterprising ball here. Hit there by Justin Campbell, just outside.
And the final score in the second match in the doubleheader. Offaly, 2 goals, 13 points. Galway, 1 goal and 10. A convincing 6-point margin. Everybody has his dream of victory. If it's not to be this day, well, tomorrow is another time. Hurling people bring colour and character to the ancient game. Sunday, 4th of September 1994 was a family day on the playing field of Croke Park. Limerick had the Nash brothers, Mike at full-back, Declan left half-back. Offaly had two Troys, Jim in goal, John centre-half forward, two Pilkingtons, Johnny at midfield, Declan at corner forward, and in their forward line, Johnny, Joe and Billy, the three Dooley brothers. It was to be one of the most dramatic All-Ireland finals in history, a game that endorsed the old advice, never ever give up fighting until the final whistle.
Yes, it's a wonderful occasion for Offaly, back in the final for the first time in 9 years. And after a season that promised more than it delivered in terms of high-quality matches, with the outcome in doubt right down to the final minutes, let's hope that the hurling today, on hurling's biggest day of the year, will be rewarded with an engrossing contest. And let's take a check on the Offaly team. In Offaly's case, the same 15 that took the field against Galway are given a vote of confidence. Brendan Kelly, concussed and substituted 4 weeks ago, is in once again at full forward, while the real debate behind the scenes was the question of who would get the left corner forward berth, and to a lesser extent the full forward slot. And there were 4 lively contenders here, but along with Brendan Kelly, Damien Pilkington is the one selected to join Billy Dooley in the inside forward line. And here come Limerick. A deafening ovation as the Shannonsiders race out quite literally onto Croke Park. Damien Quigley, one of the last ones out there. 14 years they've waited. Gary Kirby, the team captain. And so Gary Kirby and his side come down towards the Limerick fans on the canal end in this unique final pairing, the 106th All-Ireland hurling final. And this is how Limerick will line out today. The biggest scare story, of course, from their point of view, is the hand injury and that back injury I mentioned of Mike Galligan. However, he's been past fit to play, while back into the fray comes full forward Pat Heffernan as the Shannonsiders revert to the side that won the Munster Championship. Leo O'Connor is the unlucky one to lose out today. Goalkeeper Joe Quaid had been hampered by a throat virus, but in the event he starts his 5th championship match behind the usual defence. Barrett, who's handled some very big matches over the last few years, very good referee, he's in charge, assisted by Dickie Murphy and John MacDonald. And this, the panoramic view of Croke Park at the start of the final between Offaly and Limerick. And straight away it's Kieran Carey. He could be a major factor in this game if he gets motoring early on. Down towards Heffernan. Kevin Kinahan, who's had a great season, winning that first ball. Heffernan may well opt to try and pull him out of position as much as possible. Shane McGuckin now, the veterinary surgeon based in Gorey, towards Johnny Pilkington. It'll be Pilkington against Kieran Carey, and the strong men in the middle. Mention of strength. Here's Ger Hegarty. Released outside towards Frankie Carroll, just a little hint of nervousness. Kevin Martin going across to Mark. Ger Hegarty now firmly out of position. It's Gary Kirby who picks it up. First time to get on the ball. Should be quite a tussle with Hubert Rigney. Mention of Hubert, here he is. Comes straight to Mike Houlihan. Going for the score. Great point. Well, he started in devastating fashion against Antrim as well. And so Limerick off the mark straight away. Offaly get the sideline cut, and it's going to be Kevin Martin who've come up to take this one. Driven towards John Troy, added to it well. Joe O'Connor, slightly off balance. Oh, it's a penalty, it is! A penalty! Damien Pilkington, I think the player was coming in that time. Steve McDonough going across. Here it is again. This is Damien Pilkington on his way, and that's where the penalty was called for. So 3 men on the goal line. First scoring chance then for Johnny Dooley. And Johnny Dooley has been in great scoring form. 22 points so far in the championship. Going for the goal, comes off the foot of Joe, and it's in! Joe Dooley, after 3.5 minutes. In towards the half forwards. Damien Quigley coming out for it. Taking it neatly up onto the stick, getting away from the 3 offering in there. Quigley bearing down on goal. He has support. It's a goal! From Joe Quaid's lengthy puck down to Damien Quigley, and he beats Jim Troy, all ends up. Brian Wheelahan misses that one, runs on towards Damien Quigley. Mike Galligan trying to pick it up, supported here by Gary Kirby, trying to squeeze this one inside, but no such luck. Substantial number of wides now for Limerick. At the other end of the field, it's Mike Nash who is marking Brendan Kelly. Hoping to see more of the ball as well. Joe Dooley, inside towards John Troy. Up into the corner towards Declan Pilkington. Doing well. Getting away from Steve McDonough. Still Declan Pilkington. Referee allowing an advantage. Comes back out towards Brendan Kelly. And further back out again towards Billy Dooley. The snapshot and the point by Billy Dooley. So the team's level for the first time in this match. Gary Kirby trying to handle. Breaks down towards Mike Gallagher and Frankie Carroll. It's with Carroll. Outside to Kieran Carey. That looks a good deal better. And the Patrick's well man gets his first point of the day, and Limerick lead by 2. Runs on towards John Troy. Billy Dooley was coming near side for it. Joe O'Connor, the defender, back now to Billy Dooley. Going for the pot shot. And does it squeeze inside? It does, just sufficiently. And Billy has his second point of the match. And the lead is cut back to just a solitary point. Eamon Cregan just having a look around to see any possible switches that he might make, although by and large he's tended to keep with the balance of the team all through this championship. That runs on to Johnny Dooley, has support from Johnny Pilkington on his left-hand side. In towards Brendan Kelly, was slipping, and Mike Nash was out first time. He's playing well. Now having to get it away. Joe Dooley prodding it forward. Intended for Declan Pilkington, comes up to Dave Clark instead. Clark racing away, avoiding the would-be hoop. On it goes towards Mike Houlihan, his clubmate. Takes it up, has support if he needs it. Fires it through the centre towards Frankie Carroll. Frankie against Kevin Martin. Game being played in a very good spirit so far. Very sporting match. Pat Heffernan. Taken by Kevin Kinahan. Towards Daithí Regan. Breaking it down well for himself. Mike Houlihan just about keeping the ball in play, or did he? Not quite. It's going to be a line ball. Pat Heffernan, the Limerick full forward, is down there injured. And Dave Mahidi is in very quickly. Dave has done so well to train this team. And Dr. Dave Boylan in as well. It's a facial injury. There's the replay once again. Kevin Kinahan was defending his lines well. Pat Heffernan was in pursuit and he caught the stick quite accidentally. Nonetheless, felt the effects. And looks just a nasty little cut there, but it'll be tidied up. And I'm sure some people might wonder why players, not everybody, wears a helmet. Ger Hegarty breaking it down towards John Troy, bidding to dominate there at centre half forward. And even though he slipped, Declan Nash in a switch of position, still one possession. Pat Heffernan is still being attended to, so Limerick momentarily down to 14 players. Martin Hannamy also seemed to catch a knock that time, so both teams down to 14. And that's taken away well towards Mike Galligan. Galligan, who is such a star, went on his game. Jim Troy watching the whole time. Pat Heffernan back in the action. The sun in Jim's eyes didn't help. but he's getting support from Kevin Kinnan, whose jersey was pulled. And the referee says play on. Great relieving clearance by the fullback to Mike Galligan for Limerick. Limerick who lead by 1-6 to 1-4. Fired in again the sun troubling Jim Troy, does well. Experienced campaigner, back out to his team captain Martin Hannamy, back on his feet once again. Mike Houlihan spreading it wide to Kieran Carey. Lobbed in, oh, that's a goal! Damien Quigley's got a second. Nearly 29 minutes gone in the first half, and Limerick's second goal credited to Damien Quigley. Kieran Carey fired it in, but watch for the little flick. There it is, brilliant goal. So now really it's asking questions of Offaly, who are the overwhelming favourites coming into this match. Joe Dooley, stopped by Joe Quaid. Clearing his lines very quickly indeed. It's been the kind of match where you strike first and ask questions later on. Towards Quigley once again, the danger man. Getting away from Joe Erity, looking for the hat-trick, he misses. Gets the second shot in, however, but wide of the goal. Well, he really is causing so many headaches. Jim Troy making the clearance. Kieran Carey under it. Sensing that there may be a few more scores on just before half-time, and that's one of them. A second for Kieran Carey. Well, with the wind at their backs, they want to build up a substantial lead. Their lead is 6 points right now, but is it enough? Brilliantly cut up by Dave Clark. Towards Mike Galligan, and to dance his way away from the challenges. The two-man attack is in there, causing the problems. Quigley has it, and that's fired over the bar. 2 goals and 2 points for Damien Quigley from the Piershigs in Limerick. What a match he's playing. His first goal after 5 minutes, his second after 29, and now on the call of half-time he's got another score, a point. This, once again, that last attack. Must be very close to half-time now. Damien Quigley, by the way, is now being marked by Martin Hannamy in a switch at corner back, with Joe Erity moving across to the other corner. John Troy and the referee in there, pointing the way. Free to Offaly. Ger Hegarty's side leading by double scores. And Jerry Lang prostrate. Player has given some great service to Limerick down the years. Won the minor All-Ireland, of course, in '84 and the under-21 in '87. And hoping that this will be the day to complete that great set of medals. Johnny Dooley the taker. And that's a point. A first score for Johnny Dooley, the Sarah Kieran's player. So just 6 between them. Sun into the eyes of the Offaly backs. Gary Kirby taking it well. Great style, but has he got the accuracy? Not quite. Gary with 3 points so far, 2 of them from play. The half-time whistle has been sounded here. Limerick have had the better of the first half, no question about that. They've dominated in defence, given some great ball into their forwards, and Damien Quigley has helped himself to 2 goals and 2 points out of Limerick's half-time tally. They lead at half-time by 6 points. It's Limerick 2-8, Offaly 1-5. The man of the moment, Joe Quaid, dropping it into midfield. Ger Hegarty just handles it away. But it's Offaly who are picking up the tempo now, significantly at the start of the second half. Declan Pilkington again, trying to drill in a score from way out the field, and he's got the range. And the lead now is back to just 4 points. Nothing really in a game of hurling, and in particular in the All-Ireland hurling final. Declan Pilkington's first score. Offaly fans given a bit more hope now. They were never without hope. even when there were 6 points down at half-time. That's a great score. The pressure now very firmly on the Limerick backs. Dáithí Regan trying to win it, comes out towards Ciarán Carey. You heard Tom Ryan say that they were going to play it low into the wind if at all possible. Ryan making some good headway, or Ciarán Carey rather, back out towards Frankie Carroll. On his left-hand side, well away from the target, and he'll be disappointed with that one. His brothers, of course, played in the All-Ireland final in 1980. Mossy and Brian. Brian came on that day, scored a point. Damien Cregan, who was centre-half back for Limerick the last time they won an All-Ireland. Jim Troy now showing a little bit more urgency. Still plenty of time to go. Broken stick there, that of Dáithí Regan. Mike Houlihan going back. It's Ger Hegarty, in fact. Hegarty leaving it there to Johnny Pilkington, and the Pilkingtons are doing the business at the start of the second half. A few minutes ago it was Declan, now Johnny, his second point, and the gap is down to just a goal, really. The action here, which has resulted in Johnny Pilkington picking up a great score from some distance. Back live with the action. It's Offaly were applying the pressure, and the question's been asked of the Limerick backline. Declan Nash responding positively on his left-hand side. TJ Ryan now. Chased by John Troy. Still Ryan, he's made some great headway. Ball cut out there by Joe Erity, and Erity, the substitute, whipping on it away to the far sideline. Kept in play by Declan Pilkington, who lost his footing. Dave Clark firing it in, dangerously in there into the Offaly goalmouth area. Jim Troy coming out for it, making the save. Game has increased in intensity in the second half. Here's Joe Dooley. Chance of a score here, and Joe Dooley takes it. That's a goal and 2 points, and now he says, come on, we can do it. It's 2-8 to 1-9, 14 to 12. Limerick by 2. Well, this is a bit more like it now from two sides, and in particular Offaly. Offaly looking for their third All-Ireland success, Limerick looking for an 8th. Tom Ryan there in the centre of picture, his side ahead by a goal. Ger Hegarty doing well at midfield. It might yet be a very significant switch inside towards Pat Heffernan, breaks down, Jim Troy comes out, scoops it away, and it's Quigley who's so sharp this afternoon. That's a point. 2 goals and 3 points now for Damien Quigley. Anything that breaks down in front of goal there, well, and the form he's in today, Damien Quigley is in so quick, so incisive. He really is playing well. His best match in the championship by a mile. Great catch by Johnny Pilkington. Blocked down well by Ger Hegarty. It's a great tussle in midfield. That's Quigley again, so sharp. This time Joe Erity going back. But Quigley has it. Well, it hasn't gone wide. It was a chance. Jim Troy against Pat Heffernan. Jim winning the sprint. TJ Ryan. Back. There's no goalkeeper. Gary Kirby. It's over the bar. Martin Hanemy was back there, and Gary Kirby has now scored 5 points. He tells the supporters, come on, cheer us on. 2-9 to 1, 2-11 to 1-9. He's a little happier. Offaly had got to within 2 points. Dropped in towards Frankie Carroll, trying to skip away from Hubert Rigney, but Brian Wheelham came across there off the legs of Frankie Carroll. Runs on here for Leo O'Connor. O'Connor, who's replaced Mike Galligan. The shot from way out the field, and that's a point. His first shot and his first chance to shine. Leo O'Connor puts 6 points between the teams at a critical stage in the match. Time running out now for Offaly. Declan Pilkington dropping it in there towards Johnny Dooley. Michael Duignan taking it up very precisely on the 45-metre line, striking for a score, and he's got it to peg back that lead. A more manageable lead as Michael Duignan is a scorer, and there are 5 points between them. The Offaly team needing possession. They've got to get a goal or two quickly. Michael Duignan, Johnny Dooley now, beating the attempted block. Fired in well there. Billy Dooley taking it, trying to get away. He's fouled by Joe O'Connor on the 20-metre line. Will they go? Well, they were trying, I think, to go for a quick free that time. It didn't work out. Mike Houlihan making sure that everybody in the back line has picked up a man and that the goal is well marshalled. And it's going to be Johnny Dooley who will take it. Would he go for a point? I think he's been instructed to do so. He's going for a goal, and he's got it! A goal at 3 points. That's exactly what Offaly require and what the game has needed. It puts a completely different complexion on this game. Look as he composed himself, drilled it in mercilessly beyond the wall of defenders and away to the far corner. So just 2 points between the teams. Look at the number of players they had back on the line defending, and straight between Kieran Carey and Dave Clark. Offaly now feeling that they can turn the tide. Pat O'Connor's in, it's another one, it's another goal. Pat O'Connor has got it. Offaly are in front by a point. 2 goals in the space of a minute and only 4 minutes left. This is where O'Connor from Coolderry got loose. Well, Limerick, I think, were dreaming of the Liam McCarthy Cup going home to Shannonside, but Offaly have taken 2 chances in the space of a minute, and this is the beauty of the game of hurling. Now who's going to win it? Limerick appear to be lording it at times, but you never have an Offaly team beaten. They come from a very small area in County Offaly, the hurling districts, from an 8-mile radius around Birr. They have a great club atmosphere. So too Limerick. Joe O'Connor taking it away as far as Dave Clark. Dispossessed by Billy Dooley, taken here by Brendan Kelly. Kelly playing it out to a loose man who's Johnny Dooley. Is that a point? It certainly is. A goal and 4 points now all of a sudden for Johnny Dooley. Come on, we can do it, he's saying to his colleagues. Eamon Cregan across on the far side, calling out the instructions as he masterminds what he hopes will be a 3rd All-Ireland win for the faithful county. Ger Hegarty has it. What a transformation, what a last few minutes in this game. It's anybody's match. But the initiative firmly now with Offaly. Time running away. What will be the Limerick response? McDonagh towards Frankie Carroll, beaten for it by Hubert Rigney. Comes back to Johnny Pokington, striving to take it up. Good vision, seeing that John Troy was free. Troy trying to tag on another point, but that's over. Yes! Just seemed to have gone wide, but he had it perfectly. And there's a goal between them. John Troy's first point of the day. Triumphant fans up there on Hill 16. Ger Hegarty. Now suddenly it's Limerick who need a goal just to stay in it. Well, whoever said the match is never over until the final whistle, it was never truer than in this case here, as Billy Dooley fires in another beauty. A stage of the match when they can do absolutely nothing wrong. That's 3 points for Billy Dooley. Well, they've answered the critics. They've come back. Once again, it's Johnny Pilkington. Ooh, Billy just unable to keep that ball in play. I make it just about a little over a minute left, plus some injury time. An amazing transformation. John Troy picking it up again. Fired outside towards Billy Dooley on his left-hand side. It's just like routine practice now. A 4th point for Billy Dooley. With 5 minutes left, it had looked good for Limerick, and now all of a sudden it's Offaly's match. Brendan Kelly, he's come out the field, back again to Billy Dooley, nobody marking him, and that's 3 in a row. A superb performance by the young man from Clarine in County Offaly, from the Sir Kieran's club. Well, they're dancing for joy. up on hill 16. Jubilant fans, a breathless Billy Dooley, and now they lead by 6. And it's Brian Wheelahan, the fans ready to invade Croke Park on the far side. Time almost up, still some time remaining. Almost as good as a point, that one, for Brian Wheelahan. Well, the youngsters are ready to come in and cheer their heroes in front of that new stand. Johnny Dooley slightly off balance, down there it goes towards Pat O'Connor. The race won by Mike Nash of Limerick. Limerick in arrears by 6 points. We're not too long ago they were ahead by that same tally. Leo O'Connor on to Mike Houlihan, he has to go for a goal. Inside, Pat Heffernan denied, stopped, and it's Martin Hannamy who whips it away. The Offaly captain, back to TJ Ryan. Inside to Brian Wheelahan. Superb performance by Wheelahan as always. To Johnny Dooley. Took a while to really get into it. But what a finish. Dropping down there. Steve McDonough has it. Booting it clear. Billy Dooley once more. And again they cheer just there at the end line. The couple of wides now don't really matter. When it mattered, they did the business. They came back strongly, and Offaly has won, and it's all over. Offaly the champions in 1994, just like 1981 and 1985. They were looking down and out, but they've come back to win by 6 points. Offaly 316, Limerick 2 goals and 13 points. What a comeback. And Eamon Cregan has masterminded a famous victory. But what a day for the faithful county. And they always say you can never beat an Offaly team in Croke Park. Even when they were a good distance behind, they had the self-belief and the conviction. And you think about that free that Johnny Dooley took, that he might have put over the bar and put 5 between them or whatever, and he went for the goal. All of a sudden it was a completely changed picture. Johnny Pilkington, how he'll celebrate tonight and how he's entitled to. It's the stuff dreams are made of. At times like this you have to feel what a wonderful county Offaly is, from simple resources, small resources, but great talent, immense talent. And the great clubs represented, the Burrs and the St. Rynas and the Sir Kierans and the Lusmas as well. No Kennedy or Shinrone this time around, but in the past, how they played their parts. Sympathy as well for Limerick. They looked like they were on their way to a first win for 21 years. But at a critical stage in the match, Offaly got going. And when they got going, they were simply unstoppable.
In a historic week for Ireland, it has culminated in 2 great games today. Games befitting our great association and the great game of hurling. Cogordagus Forna O'Falia, Cobrona Libni of Aaron Law, the O'Falia Roby Lauder in York. August Leshin, Taas or on Curtishaw of Rona, the Captain O'Falia, Martin Hannamy.
Jack Boothman, first time as GA president to present the Liam McCarthy Cup to Martin Hannamy of St. Rynas in Offaly. Offaly are the All-Ireland hurling champions for the 3rd time ever. What a day.
An incredible finish and a victory that no one could have even wildly predicted with a few minutes to go in the match. But Offaly were the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Champions for the 3rd time in their history, just as the county has 3 All-Ireland Senior Football titles. Our 1994 video closes out with the goals and the save of the year. And we begin with the save. Limerick's new goalkeeper, Joe Quaid, showing his paces in a marvellous performance against Cork. Any one of the half a dozen saves would qualify. Perhaps this was the best of them all. Joe Quaid in goal, attentive, concentrated, alert. He may have lost sight of the shot for a split second, but excellent readjustment to make the save of the year. Goals of the Year is a 2-in-1 drama. 5 minutes left in the All-Ireland final. Offaly 5 points behind. Enter Johnny Dooley. A cracking goal from Dooley, deceiving the defence and lifting the spirits of Offaly. And the margin was then reduced to 2 points. Look at the placement and the positioning of the goalkeeper. Within 40 seconds, Offaly had scored again. The long delivery, substitute Pat O'Connor in, the perfect finish, and it's all turned around. Offaly are ahead, and there they would stay. For impact and importance, those were the goals of the year. Looking for a goal of artistry, we'll look no further than Damien Quigley of Limerick again in the All-Ireland final. Mike Houlihan to Kieran Carey. The long delivery, and watch this for movement by Quigley, and the flick and the goal. Brilliant skill, wonderful artistry. Quigley going in one direction. First of all, he had to retrieve the ball. Brought his marker with him. The goalkeeper was reading it, thought he would narrow it all down. But he'd left the space. Quigley knew it, and the wrists did the rest. 5 to go, 5 down, none to go, 6 up. An 11-point turnover, the most remarkable finish ever in an All-Ireland senior hurling final. Many people still can't believe it, but they can in Offaly, and here's the proof. The most prestigious trophy in all of hurling, the Liam McCarthy Cup, is Offaly's for 1994, and at least right through to the autumn of 1995. And it does seem most appropriate that we should be talking to you from Birr in the county of Offaly, because it was on these very fields that the first ever All-Ireland senior hurling final was played between Tipperary and Galway, the championship of 1887. And so that was the start of the book, and this is the most up-to-date chapter thereof. 1994, Offaly, the All-Ireland champions.
John Troy. Good ball into Billy Dooley, to brother Joe, to the back of the net. Still Dooley, needs a little bit of help and support. Oh, wonderful skill by John Troy. Lashing it in, oh, what a goal!
Brian Wheelahan. Jerry McInerney once again breaking it down. That's a great goal! That's John Troy, who's got Offaly now feeling that they can turn the tide. But O'Connor's in, it's another one! Offaly are in front! Will he go for a point? I think he's been instructed to do so.